Welcome to Review Nation, and today guys I'm going to give you a review for Abigail Williams' Walk Beyond the Dark. Now Walk Beyond the Dark is their 5th studio album, and Abigail Williams is an extreme metal band, or you could say a black metal band, incorporating a few symphonic elements. Now Abigail Williams is an interesting band per se because they really experiment with their music through albums like In the Shadow of a Thousand Suns and even The Accuser, which was a really raw album. But this album, Walk Beyond the Dark, is such an interesting album. It's composed exceptionally well, and Ken Sorcerin, the mastermind of Abigail Williams, is just absolutely fantastic on this album. Now I discovered Abigail Williams' Walk Beyond the Dark after I did my top 20 best albums of the year. Now I decided to check it out because I'm really getting into black metal, and when I checked out this album, Walk Beyond the Dark, I was pleasantly surprised of actually how well composed Ken is able to encapsulate the listener into a journey such as Walk Beyond the Dark. Now, first of all, let's talk about how ambitious and how brave this album is. It's a fucking masterpiece. This album is great. It is brilliant, it's so stratospheric, creates an atmosphere throughout many songs, and at times it's headbanging but yet beautiful. This is a pure black metal album and I fucking love it. There are certain elements that you can't help but enjoy, such as the crazy blast beats throughout many songs on this album. I believe this was mixed in Germany or something. The overall mixing on this album is just fantastic. It is. You sit there and listen to this album. The album's about an hour long, but you sit there and listen for about an hour and you just go on for a journey, go on for a ride from darkness into a little bit of happiness at the end. From I Will Depart, which is so damn dark and gloomy but yet very black metal, to the track 7 to The Final Failure, where it is still very doomy and gloomy, but then you sort of get a surprise ending. The build up, the conclusion of this album is just absolutely fantastic. And basically in this review, I'm going to give you my first thoughts of this album, Abigail Williams' Walk Beyond the Dark. I've listened to this album countless times now, and I can tell you that this is just an amazing album. And I'm going to say hands down that Abigail Williams' Walk Beyond the Dark is my favorite album of 2019. It was Flesh God Apocalypse, Valino. It is now Abigail Williams' Walk Beyond the Dark. The production on this album is just absolutely fantastic. Abigail Williams weren't actually together when they actually recorded this album. I believe Ken was somewhere and the bassist was somewhere else and the drummer was like in Ireland or something like that, and basically they all combined their parts, all the vocals, all the instrumentals, and sent it to Germany or something like that for it to be mixed. And the end result is absolutely amazing. One of the most polished but yet amazing black metal albums I've heard for a very long time. It is brilliant. Some would say it might be too polished. At times there are some raw elements, exactly like Sorcerin's vocals on this album. And so the album kicks off with I Will Depart, really dark and atmospheric, but yet they incorporate awesome blast beats throughout the song. And nice drum fills. You get awesome guitar moments, nice riffs, and tremolo pickings throughout the song. The bass is quite prominent throughout the song, but there's an awesome doomy moment, especially throughout the middle part of the song. And especially when he says, I will depart, so damn aggressive. His vocals are very dynamic. He's got those awesome black metal shrieks that you can't help but enjoy. The whole song overall is about a person that maybe is contemplating suicide and really thinking about the end result of what will happen. He's questioning whether he's going to go on to the afterlife or not, especially lyrics like I will depart, my heart beats negative as the body burns high on deception. Waking from a nightmare, half empty, obsession with the final thrill. Like the final thrill would maybe ending yourself or something like that. But I love this song overall, I really do. Then it bleeds onto Sun and Moon, which is at times you get a really tribal beat, especially with the drums. The drums sound fantastic. You get really nice guitar melody as well. But as the song builds and Ken's vocals come in with the sun and moon, flesh and wine, blood red sky, I love that part. Introduction to introduce this song. So the song builds up and you get the same melody, but you get some awesome guitar moments and amazing drum fills as well, along with blast beats. It's a very atmospheric song, but yet it leads on to Ever So Bold. Which is probably one of the weakest songs off the album in my opinion, but it's still a 10 out of 10. This song is fantastic. It's probably one of the simplest songs as well. Got those awesome black metal vocals as well as the awesome guitars. The guitars and drums combine so well with each other along with the bass. You get a nice guitar solo throughout Ever So Bold and it's quite rhythmic. And it's quite energetic. It leads on to Black Waves, which is slow building but yet dynamic at times, especially throughout that introduction. The song builds up with atmosphere, and this is when the cellos come in. The cellos come in chiming within the mix. The mix overall is just fantastic in this song, especially with the harsh aggressive vocals when he screams out Black Waves throughout the song. The build up, the amazing cello effects throughout this song along with the poetic lyrics you get. At times this song is breathtaking but yet cerebral and at times classic for black metal. I love how headbanging it is at times, the awesome blast beats throughout the song. And there are nuances which you can't help but enjoy. At times, the vocals are passionate, the song is percussion soaked, and it's just a great way to say to the listener, hey, grasp your balls, you're in for a fucking ride, and we're about to up the ante. And it does up the ante throughout into the sleep. Which is really at times a forgettable melody in my opinion, but once you hear it, you cannot unhear it, and I love the way Abigail Williams combines those melodies throughout this album. The melodies on Into the Sleep is fantastic. Again, Ken's vocals are just absolutely fantastic, and again, I just really enjoy the cello moments. The guitars are very piercing throughout this song and the drums are at times very playful, and you love the harmonic section as well. But I love the styles of this song as well. At times it's down tempo but yet up tempo. This is when you start to see that there is a few happy melodies. The cellos really cut the darkness down, which I believe Abigail Williams was trying to create a concept for this album. It leads on to Born on Nothing, which is just a fucking amazing song. It is. very doom and gloom song, but it's the overall build-up. Again, you get these amazing blast beats throughout the song, awesome tremolos as well by the guitarist, and you get amazing vocals by Ken, which just pierce the cellos as well. Some awesome cello moments throughout this song. Bass is very prominent. The mixing is just fantastic. Production is amazing. Born on Nothing. Maybe this person is trying to consider whether his life is worthy or not. And that's what I'm getting from this song. And at the end, it's flesh, blood, bone, and I love that part. I love that part when he screams that out. It just makes the listener really start to be amazed of how good this fucking album is. It leads on to the final failure. As the cello ends from Born on Nothing, it bleeds onto the final failure. Definitely one of the most doomiest songs of the album. It's still got that black metal element. Overall guitar melody, the overall tribal drumming again throughout the final failure, throughout the introduction. The introduction's around about 4 minutes long. It leads on with the fast, heavy-paced drumming as well. And then throughout the middle part of the song, you get this awesome funeral doom moment where Ken's vocals just turn into such an aggressive, monstrous growl that sounds something like out of Ahab or Esoteric or something like that. And it's fucking amazing how he does it. And then out of nowhere, you get a fucking amazing guitar solo. And then it really builds up again, and you just can't help but enjoy that. Then you get some cello moments, really cut down that darkness, and it makes the listener think, is there a light at the end of the tunnel? This is when this album really does it for me, because you just feel so good inside when listening to the final failure. And that's why I put the final failure in my top 20 songs of the year of 2019, because it was just a fucking brilliant way to end the album. Amazing song to end the album, and it's just absolutely brilliant. Those fast drums, the amazing cellos which cut through that darkness, really brings out a huge light, a huge moment of happiness throughout the end of the album. And that's what I was feeling. I was feeling quite happy after I was listening to the album, because I was friggin' satisfied. But what can I say about Walk Beyond the Dark, Abigail Williams, if I haven't said already? This album at times is piercing, but piercing in a good way. It's very satisfying, especially at the end of Final Failure. It's a sound. This sound will transport you into a different world. It feels like you're walking through a tunnel. The first song, you start with darkness. Then you walk towards that light, towards that tunnel of light. And I just love how Abigail Williams does it. At times, it's melodic. I suppose the most melodic song is I Will Depart and maybe Born on Nothing. Yeah, Ken's vocals are just outstanding in this. And I believe this is definitely better than The Accuser. The Accuser was more raw, was more muddy. The production on this is just absolutely fantastic. It's one of the best black metal productions out there. I love it. It's holy and it's a unique venture. So for Abigail Williams, Walk Beyond the Dark, I'm giving this a solid 10 out of 10, man, because this was a magnificent album, and I don't give 10s easily. One negative I could say about this album is nothing at all. Guys, comment below if you heard this album. And comment below what you thought about this album as well. Do you agree in my opinion? Do you believe this is an album of the year? Keep discussion going in the comments section below. Comment below other albums you want me to review in black metal. Subscribe if you want, drop a like, and I will see you in